Hey, good morning or afternoon or evening, whenever you're watching this. What's up? Nice to see you guys. So, I want to explain your Maker's Faire project for a moment. Okay, your Maker's Faire. A Maker's Faire is when you produce a thing. So, you need to make a real world 3D object that's made out of real stuff. So, use whatever supplies you want to make or whatever supplies you have to make whatever you want to make. Okay, here are 60 ideas. Here's a video explaining it. It's a arts and crafts and science and engineering and history project. So it's got all the things wrapped up into one. Your requirements, you have to make something awesome. Then through 6 degrees of separation, you need to connect your thing, the thing that you made, to some part of Chinese technological history. Okay? For example, if I were doing this project, if I was 13, this is what I would make. It's a arts and crafts explosion replica. It's like a nightstand thing. I would put it in my room. If I was 13 and I had a room, I would put it in my room so I could keep it. Maybe I'd make a bunch of them and sell them. But it looks cool to me. And it's an arts and crafts project, and not super technical. There's not that many ingredients in there. It's just some lights, some cotton, and so on. So if I were making this, I need to connect this cool thing with some part of Chinese history. So what I would do is I would go to the research I gave you. This is from University of Southern California. You can find it right here. Some of the top Chinese technologies. So maybe I use paper because maybe the inside of this is made out of paper. Maybe that's paper mache. So I could start right there. And the Chinese were the first to invent paper, paper money. So I could start using all of that as an example. Let's go through another example. Another student, she is making a basketball returning machine where she shoots a basketball, the ball returns back to her because of this machine that she made. Cool. So maybe she's making it out of metal, and maybe part of it has metal or steel, and she connects it to the iron work. The iron smelting. If you melt iron, it's called smelting. If you melt metals, it's called smelting. Weird word, right? It's fun to say. So maybe her basketball returning technology has some metal in it, so she could connect this to ancient Chinese development of metals. Okay, another kid is going to make ramps out of plastic bottles. He's going to make ramps for his bicycle out of plastic bottles. So his bicycle is made out of a bunch of fancy metals, so you could use the melting process for iron, or you could talk about bronze. His tires are made out of rubber, so you could use some of the other technologies in ancient China. So you might have to do a little research. I've done some research for you here. And there's also some research done right there. But specifically for that bike example, I think we were going to use porcelain because his brakes on his bike were ceramic brakes, not metal brakes. So you can connect the brakes on his bike with the ramp he made to the porcelain production of ancient China. So again, the thing you make can be very, very distant from the Chinese technology, and we can help find lots of steps in between. Even if it takes lots of steps in between, you can find the steps in between. If you can't find the steps between the two things, then change what you're making. Okay, cool. So the requirements, you need to write a paper. The requirement 1, make something awesome. Requirement number 2, write a 2-page written report. What does your written report need? 1 page. Explain the Chinese technology. Okay, this is where your research comes in. What is the Chinese technology? What was it used for? Who used it? When? Why? Explain the significance. Who cares about that technology? Why is it still important? Why was it important then? What's the modern versions of it now? Okay, so why was it important to their society, and what's the impact today? And do they still use it today? What's the modern version of it? Lastly, the 1 page, what'd you make? How'd you make it? What materials did you use? What was the process? What was the most challenging part, and how did you overcome it? For both of these, be very specific, be very clear, okay? 2 pages, turnitin.com, 12-point font only, Times New Roman only. So make the thing you want to make. If you can't find the connection between Chinese technologies and the thing you want to make, I can help you. But we can connect anything to Chinese technologies because they made a million things, okay? Cool, thank you. Good luck with your project. We'll see them all when you get back to school. We're going to see them all.